Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. So today I'm back at you with another video. This is one of my weekly ones, and this is going to be on the top waiver wire picks for the upcoming week. And that week is week 9. So generally I do about 20 to 25 different picks for 12 team, 14 team leagues and deeper. And generally these are always competitive picks. These are always picks that are available in competitive leagues. So there won't be any like obvious Kobe White ones like on my list, because obviously they should be gone. Otherwise you're probably in a taco league, unfortunately. So before we start the video as well, just want to say I hope everyone did well. I know that today is the last day of week 8, and in the top right corner as well, just to follow along, I always add screenshots of the weekly schedule for each team. So as you can see, it's got which teams are playing 2, 3 and 4 games. The middle box there is back-to-back, so who's playing, which teams are playing back-to-backs on which days. And then the bottom right corner, out of all the 3 screenshots, you'll see each team that plays 3 games in 4 nights. And the reason I put this up is simply to help you guys who are following along in the video, just want to get an input on schedules, because obviously that's a pretty big consideration in who you pick, especially with the light and heavy volume days as well. It's good to know who is playing when. Otherwise, sometimes you can pick a play that you think is going to help you, and then really they're not going to help you at all, because they're just going to be the bench on a day that's heavy where everyone else is playing. So let's get into the video, and hopefully I can give you guys some helpful tips that will give you some options for week 9 as well, because there's just so many obvious there's just so many obvious ones, but not as many unobvious ones that you can set you over the line. So in green is always my picks that I think are really good for this week, and then all the other ones in white, I think are really probably not the best picks, but obviously this is going to be dependent on your build, and also anything can happen as each week goes on. So Karis LeVert, he's a pretty obvious one for me with Garland. So with Garland this season, he's averaging like 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.7 threes and a steal. So really good play. He generally does well whenever Garland or Donovan Mitchell is out, and this is from the past as well. So in my opinion, considering Garland is out for several weeks, was the actual quote. I don't know how many weeks that is. I'm guessing 3 to 4. And it sucks because I have Garland as well. But I think, Karis LeVert is going to be a great pickup, and he should be off your waiver wire unless you're punting points or threes. Well, probably even if you're just punting points. Isaiah Hartenstein. So Mitchell Robinson apparently is out for like 8 to 10 weeks, which is crazy. So Hartenstein is great. Last season he played about 30 games without Robinson, and I think he averaged about 5 points and 8 rebounds and sort of 1 block, half a steal as well. So I'm expecting him to be maybe around the same, 8, maybe like 6 points, 8 rebounds, maybe a steal, maybe a block as well together. But he's at this stage 8 rebounds off the waiver wire consistently. It's pretty hard to find. And look, Thibs is coaching, so we'll see what happens. You might the first day he trotted Sims out, even though Jericho Sims has been in the doghouse for ages. So you never know with Thibs lineups. But yeah, I think Hartenstein is definitely the main center that Thibs likes. So definitely going to be at least decent production, if not good production for several weeks to come. AirPods, so Podziemski, he's been really good find actually. So we'll see what happens, because now he's going to get meaningful minutes with Draymond out for a while, and probably for a consistent amount of time. So originally he played a game here and there where he got some minutes, so it's hard to see whether it was just a fluke or not. I mean, he looks like he fits into that system really well, and as long as Steph and Clay are there to attract all the attention, I think he's going to fit well with them. I mean, he's good for a little bit of everything, maybe like 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 assists, 1, 2 threes and a steal or so. He seems to be a really good rebounder. I think he could easily average 12.5 rebounds at minimum with a 3 and a steal as well, which is pretty good off the waiver wire as well, considering your lineup. So moving forward, Kelly Olynyk, he's on a lot of waiver wires because he's just sort of dropped off the radar. But last 3 games he had like 8 assists, 9 assists, and 10 assists. And I think with John Collins on the trade block now, apparently, but he hasn't played the last few games because of injuries. So we'll see what happens. But Kelly Olynyk, when he plays and gets minutes, man, he's good for everything. So rebounds, assists, steals is his main thing, but he can give you points and a couple threes as well. Steals is probably not his main thing. I shouldn't say that, but I think rebounds and assists, he gives 7 rebounds, sort of like 5, 6 assists. That's really good out of that power forward center position. So he could be traded, but I think until we heard something different about John Collins, or you see John Collins playing meaningful minutes again, I think he's definitely worth a pickup, because he produces in time. He's a per minute guy. Colin Sexton has been great without Clarkson. He's back at the lineup. That JJ Hardy just continues to change his lineup. It's literally impossible to stay with anyone outside Lowry, Markkanen. Even Kessler's getting that that rotation treatment as well. But at the moment he's been averaging about 17 points a game the last 2 weeks. So he's good for points, threes, maybe a couple assists here and there. But yeah, he's good until he's out. Get him, because it's hard to get 17 points off the waiver wire list. Speaking about points, Norm Powell, he's great as well. You know, 3-pointers and points. Coming off the bench, he seems to have solidified his role, about 12, 13 points a game with 1 or 2 threes. So, and then whenever Paul George or Kawhi is out, and it seems Kawhi's been really healthy this year, so Paul George is likely to be out, then Powell, you know, easily get up to that sort of 15, 18 point mark a game. TJ McConnell, he's been good with Nembhard out, averaging about 5 or 6 assists. I thought he would dominate more with that game without Halliburton, but he hasn't. But look, he's still good. 5 or 6 assists off the waiver wire is hard to find, so if you need assists and some steals with low turnovers and decent field goal, McConnell's definitely going to be your guy. And another Pacers guy, Isaiah Jackson, with Jalen Smith out, he's actually playing consistent games. He used to get a lot of DNPs, which sucks because he's just an absolute per-minute rebound block machine guy. So yeah, he's finally getting about 17, 18 minutes a game, and he's good for maybe 5, 6 rebounds and, you know, a steal and a couple blocks as well. So definitely look out for him as long as he's not in the doghouse or whatever Rick Carlisle's rotation house thing is. Yeah, he's going to produce, I think. Tyrese, another guy, he's no secret, everyone knows about him, but he's finally getting anywhere sort of like in the low 20s now, so he seems to be producing 12 points, sort of 6, 7 rebounds, a steal, a block, and 1 or 2 threes as well. So he gives you everything. And if Jeff Green or Jalen Green ever miss time for injury, he's going to just explode. He's an absolute per-minute beast as well. Caleb Martin's been awesome with that Hero. Hero is coming back, and that lineup, it looks outside Bam, everyone is healthy again. But I think even with Bam, until Bam comes back, I think he's still going to, Caleb Martin's still going to be good for sort of like 1.5 threes, 12 points, maybe a steal, and maybe about 5, 6 rebounds as well, just because he plays that power forward position. And outside Love, they don't really play, and they got Highsmith as well, but they seem to rotate a lot, but they like Caleb Martin a lot, and he's proved himself as well. So I still think he's worth something. At minimum, he's a streamer for sure. Taurean Prince, very similar, except minus the rebound. So he's been really good and really hot of late. So I think if, you know, once these players start to get on a hot streak, it's good to ride that until they go blank as well. So a couple games as well without LeBron and AD and stuff. But I think, you know, even with them playing, he's just been really hot from 3-point range. So another guy that's been sort of hot shooter, Kevin Love, 3 points, and rebounds. While Bam's been out, he's doing really well. But, you know, his problem is he gets injured. So don't expect anything long term. But again, streaming or even just for a short term hold is going to be good. And just remember, these guys, not these guys, but Kevin Love, for example, power forward, center, you're not going to get many 3-pointers, especially off the waiver wire, who can get like 7 rebounds a game off the waiver wire. So definitely, you know, pretty important pickup in my opinion, him and Kelly Olynyk this week. Malachi Branham, he's been good for points, couple rebounds, assists, but again, Spurs lineup is just too, outside Wemby and maybe like Devin Vassell, honestly just too hard to predict. Like it just differs each game, and even Vassell, like I mean, he's been getting a bit hot lately, but it's really hard to say. You know, in my opinion, I wouldn't own anyone but Wemby at this stage. But he's someone to think about if you like points and maybe a sprinkle of other stuff as well. Week 5, we continue on. So we got Dante Exum. He's been a really good shooter. It's crazy. I think he's gonna at some point just fall off a wagon because he's definitely not this good of a 3-point shooter unless he's suddenly improved to become amazing. But you know, that's the Luka Doncic effect. He just makes everyone a great 3-point shooter. So we'll see. I still think he's good for 12 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds a game with, you know, 1 or 2 threes. So that's great off the waiver wire. And Kyrie, who knows when he's going to come back? Heel, contusion. I don't really know what that means in terms of injury length, but yeah, you know, if he's definitely in your wire, pick him up for sure. Sam Hauser, he's been in this list several times. Just good for 3-pointers, around 3 a game with like 10 points. So if you need 3 points, definitely stream him on a 3-game week. Daron Sharp, he's been good for rebounds and blocks, but obviously with Claxton there, he'll always be suppressed in minutes, but still pretty good if you need rebounds and blocks. Bataze is also good for rebounds and blocks still somehow. He's been going strong. So, but Jonathan Isaac is back, so that center rotation again is like four men deep. So we'll see what happens. Chris Snell, Eric Gordon, they're good for 3 points and points, but just remember they're on a 2-game week this week, so we'll see what happens with them. I don't know if they're great rosters, but you may can stream them if you need 3 points and points. Same with Corey Kispert. He's been getting a bit hot from 3-point range, so if you need 3-pointers and points, he may be good as well. Jordan Goodwin, he had 6 assists today again. He had 8 assists last game, so you see with Beal out, maybe he's finally taken that sort of point guard spot, a bit more of the duty as well. He's averaging like higher in the 25s now, minutes wise. So yeah, if you need some assists, maybe 4 or 5 assists a game and a steal, I think Jordan Goodwin could be helpful there. THT, but again, 2-game week. THT, he's been getting some minutes again with Clarkson out and the rotation changing as well because Keontae's out. So points, 3 points, and maybe some assists. Maybe assists and points are his main thing, but he'll give you TOs and, you know, horrible field goal percentage too. But he goes through a streak every now and again where he just gets really hot, even from field goal. So yeah, definitely someone to think about. Ayo, sprinkle of everything if Caruso is out. So we had a massive game against Heat and then bombed the next game against the Heat again. But you know, he's a bit of everything. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1, 2 threes. That sort of player as well. And Caruso, who knows? He's always game time decision as well. DeAndre Hunter with Bogdan out, you know, it could be good for maybe 15 points and maybe 1, 2 threes. So maybe ride it because Bogdan might be out for a little bit. It's unknown. He's game to game, but it might be 2, 3, 4 games. Who knows? Bagley Wiseman for points, rebounds, and blocks. So everyone knows about Detroit's big man problem with Duran out, and Isaiah Stewart was out as well. I'm not sure if he's back, but yeah, just I guess monitor them and maybe pick them up because they're probably still good for maybe 10 points, 5 rebounds, and who knows which one, by the way. That's why I put them together because it's just impossible to tell with the Monty lineup. And Isaac Okoro as well. He's been sneaky with points and steals and maybe some threes. So he maybe is good for 15 points, you know, 1 steal, 2 threes with Garland out as well. He's been taking a bigger share of the load. Only this year though. Last year it wasn't like that consistently, but this year with Garland he was consistently good. So we'll see what happens. They got a lot more competition as well in Cleveland this year than last year, so I just put him on the list, but I personally probably wouldn't pick him up unless there was absolutely no one left and I needed 3 points or points. Just some players to monitor. Fontecchio from Utah. If Lowry misses time, he seems to have done well, but Lowry's back now, but you know, with that hamstring strain he could be off every back-to-backs and stuff, so who knows. Xavier Tillman, it really sucks because he's just like such a good steals person from the center position, but he's just not getting any minutes, and Biyombo is out next game, which is tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, Tillman, unfortunately, he's just not getting any minutes. I don't know whether it's injury or whether he's in the doghouse, but yeah, it sucks. But just monitor because yeah, if he gets minutes and time again, he's going to be someone you want to own. 7 rebounds, 2 steals, yeah, 10 points, like it's good, maybe a 3. Chris Dunn, he gets some minutes every now and again, but again, that Utah guard lineup is crazy. But with Keontae and Jordan Clarkson out, he could get a little bit more run, and he's pretty decent if he gets some minutes. So yeah, what into that. Anthony Black, Fultz coming back, but he had a monster game I think on Friday, and then he had a pretty horrible game, sorry, today, not semi-decent, pretty horrible, thinking of someone else. But you know, he's someone to monitor, I guess, until Fultz is back. And Craig Porter Jr. did really well without Mitchell last time. Well, last time was earlier this year. So we'll see what happens if he gets extended time with Garland out. But so far, with 1 game, he has not done anything too special. But you know, again, someone to monitor. That's what you want. You just want to be exposed to everyone, and then that way you don't miss out on anyone. So just some considerations as well when picking waiver picks. So this is what I always consider. I take advantage of low volume days, so I see who's playing on low volume days, and then I try and pick someone of that to minimize damage on high volume days. So no point picking someone where you know they're 4 games, but then 2 of the games are on high volume days. You're not going to even get to use them potentially. So just something to consider. Identify if your star player has 2 games and try and get players that could back up the stats that you're going to miss from the short week. Review your opponent's stats as well to feel which targets you want to go for, which categories you want to target. Have a plan and stick to it. So if you're targeting all the categories throughout a set of categories throughout the week, sort of stick to it because it's over 7 days. Like you can come good in the last day, but don't pivot halfway through because then you sort of left yourself short and then you got to waste more waiver picks pivoting as well. So just my opinion, but I think it's less stressful, and in the long run, having played for a while, it seems to have worked out better for me by not pivoting. Leave 1 waiver pick as well for final days because other managers are already maxed out in the waiver picks by then, and then you have less competition for potential gems that can come through. And we've seen this week as well, you know, with the Draymond injury and then the suspension and then the Garland injury on like sort of the Friday, I think. You know, it just opens up a lot of the waiver picks all of a sudden, as opposed to like smashing them all out and then leaving like 1 for like the last 4 days where you don't have many options, where you have so many options and only 1 pick left. Sorry. So just something to consider. That's all. Obviously every week's gonna be different, and depending on your standings as well, sometimes you've got to burn as many picks as possible just to get some wins in that matchup as well. But that is my waiver wire ads picks for this week. I hope that they gave you some insights and gave you something to think about as well. But let me know as well if you think there's anyone that's missing that should be on this list. Again, this is for competitive leagues only. But yeah, hopefully it helps you as well. And I wish you all the best of luck for week 9. I'm going to be in some tough matchups. But yeah, best of luck for that, and I'll see you in the next video. But till then, take care and good luck.